Welcome to Wayne's World Garage. Happy Monday. It's not Wednesday. I've been busy, and I have to apologize to everybody. I haven't been doing a whole lot of videos because I can't compete with the AI videos, and they seem to be doing pretty well on YouTube. But John Clark was kind enough to call me last week, AKA Freaking Jeep. He's been our mentor and our helper and our teacher at the sawmill, helping us do lots of great stuff. And he's a really smart guy. And he says, I just keep doing a couple of videos. So let me show you what we've been working on. And I haven't done a video at least 6 weeks. So we had our big pumpkin picking party. That was a big effort. We did leaf blowing for my neighbor. She's 90 years old. Sadly, her husband died this year. He was 95. West Point graduate, class of 54, I think. Good for him. Anyway, what the heck is this thing? So at the sawmill, we're always getting calls from people. Hey, do you want some logs? You want some logs? You want some logs? Like, yeah. Except we don't want to be transporting logs. Local people at the local country club gave us a shout and said, hey, you want to check it out? We're going to be taking some trees down. I looked at them. Most of them are red oak, 1 or 2 poplar. I didn't see any white oak, but that's okay. But they're close by. They're 2 miles away from where we saw logs. Can't complain about that. But while I'm there, I saw this stuff sitting around. It's all this old equipment. And it was in his boneyard. He said, yeah, we're going to auction stuff off or sell to the Amish folks, see if they want to buy into this stuff. And I said, well, any chance I get any of it? He said, yeah, make me an offer on it. So I made him an offer of $500 on this thing. Hopefully I didn't steal it or he didn't rip me off. I don't know. And as I found out, it has not run probably in 5 years. So the first thing I did was drain the varnish out of the gas tank. It was varnish. It was not gas because they used corn gas. I put some avgas in there. I like the avgas, 100 octane, low lead. It always runs, lasts for 10 years. And I did a little bit of work on the carburetor, and I'll talk about that in a couple of minutes, what we did to the carburetor. So I don't know if it's going to run or not. I did look at it. They had the fuel turned off. That's a good thing. Since the fuel was off, not too much was sitting in the carburetor, but the float bowl was destroyed just because it was all corroded because alcohol is hygroscopic. It attracts water, and that's what happens. It attracted lots of water inside the float bowl. I changed out the needle for the Venturi. Okay, and I can show you what that looks like a little bit later. That was kind of cool. I bought a $15 Amazon carburetor, and now we're going to put some parts in it from that. That's exactly what I did. Shockingly, the Amazon parts from the $15 Chinese carburetor are exactly the same. The threads are the same and everything else. Don't know how that can be, but it seems to be working pretty well. Maybe. We'll see if this baby starts. Okay. Off, on. Maybe I'll let it drip out a little bit longer, huh? Maybe I can burn my gloves up. We'll see how that works out. Now, let's see here. That's on. That's off. Yeah. Seems to work. Okay. We're just gonna have to wait for a different carburetor to come. I have an OEM one on the way. So that's on, and that's on. Yeah, it definitely needs some, what's this, doesn't it? Well, kind of funny. It runs extraordinarily well on full choke. The jets are plugged up, the carburetor's goofed up. $16 for a new one from Amazon. So let me get a new carburetor and see how that works. I'm sure it'll be night and day difference. And we'll go from there. Although, scratching my head a little bit, I was hoping to be pumping some water right now or pushing some water. It's not. So let me putz with that and see what's going on here. Stand by. Okay, well, let's see how this goes. Sadly, my little audio thing here stopped working, so there's no audio for this. But the engine's running. You hear it? It's a Honda. It runs pretty well, even though the choke's got to be on. But I'm doinking with this and doinking with that. You can't see it. There's a whole bunch of things on here. Regardless of what I do, there's no pressure coming out of this thing. Not even 1 PSI. That's kind of strange. What's going on here? This is a continuation of the video I started yesterday. And this beautiful spray rig had a nice Honda engine on it, and it had a nice pump on it. And I said, well, I know it's been sitting for a few years. We drained the gas out and tried to get the pump working. The pump didn't make any pressure. I wasn't quite exactly sure why, so I said, let me take a look at this a little bit deeper. As you can see now, it's easy. It's only 4 bolts to take off the engine and pull that apart, and I can work on it inside a nice shop where it's nice and toasty warm, because it's freezing outside today. It's like 30 degrees last night, 40 today, and it's raining. Typical Maryland winter. But let me show you what we got, because we lost a lot of audio as I was trying to show you guys how the pressure worked or how the pressure didn't work. Now I found out why. Let's check it out. It's cool. All right. Well, here's how this works anyway. Here's the engine. It's a Honda engine. It looks like brand spanking new. I do have to do a little bit more carburetor work. I have a new one coming from Jeff Bezos. It's $14. It's barely worth trying to fix this one. Although I did pull it apart. As I said, I put a new jet in it. It didn't work right, but it did run with a clutch or with a choke on. And it ran just very well with a choke on. So what do we do next? I said, well, let me see if we get some pressure out of it. And this is all taken apart now, but it's got this little valve here. One of them, you turn to A, and it circulates everything inside the pump. And that's kind of cool. And then you turn it to some other setting, and then it supposedly pressurizes it. I wasn't getting any pressure. I said, well, that's weird. What's going on here? So it's just 4 of these 6mm bolts. You pop it off, and you pull this thing off here. Except this little gear drive thing gets stuck, so that was a little bit of effort, but that's okay, not a big deal. I've got it all cleaned up now. Let's find out what's going on. And I looked inside of this thing. So when I looked inside of this is hilarious. Well, it's hilarious if it was yours. It's not hilarious since it's mine. These are little pistons. Check this out, they're little pistons with connecting rods. These connecting rods don't look normal. Don't know what happened to those connecting rods. Both the pistons. This is a twin cylinder. It's like a John Deere tractor, except both the connecting rods are broken. And the way this actually works is it's called a diaphragm pump. These little diaphragms go on the top and create pressure. And here's the cylinder liner. They call it liners. It's a cylinder liner, just like in a real engine. Except this is really heavy duty. It's probably bigger than most engines we see around here today. Regardless, when you take a careful look at these things, clearly the connecting rods have got some problems. They are unhappy. Oh my God, the crankshaft is all destroyed. I've never seen one this badly wrecked, even on a vehicle. So now what do? Now is when you try and figure out, what am I going to do with this thing? So now the question is, what do I do with this thing? This crankshaft is wrecked, okay? I can get the local parts for it because I need a new crankshaft. I've got to pull out the crankshaft. It's got seals on it. It's going to need a couple seals on it. Pulling out the crankshaft may not be so easy. Not quite sure how that comes out of there and how often they do that. It turns out at this point in this guy's life, this is where you check out Amazon or Jeff Bezos, and Jeff has one for sale for $600. It's not worth my time. Sadly, I'm not going to rebuild this thing. By the time I buy a crankshaft for it, buy connecting rods, the rebuild kit, I'll be out $400. And then I have to learn how to make it work right. It probably still won't work right. So, sadly, the pump is off. It's getting replaced. Put a new one on it. We'll have a new carburetor for this little motor pretty soon. It's a little Honda. And we'll get that back on there, and we'll be good to go. So that's the story. John Clark, this video is for you. I told you I'd do a video this week. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a good day.